Hello again. So today, I'm going to be talking about a movie that I was super excited to go see. And my friend who goes to these movies with me, oh man, she literally, maybe an hour ago, called me while in bed, very sleepy, just ranting about how they didn't like the movie as much as I did, which is totally fine. She clarified that she enjoyed the movie, but she didn't think it was as good as it's probably going to be like hyped up to be, or probably as good as I think it is. That's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So I'm like starting this review hot and ready to talk about why I enjoyed it. So I just want to get this started. And like always, I'll give you a little descriptor. I'll tell you what the movie's about. I'll play a trailer, let you know, kind of let you see what's going on, and then I'll tell you my thoughts, my rating, and yeah, so let's just start it. This movie is called In the Earth, and it came out this year in 2021. It's directed by Ben Wheatley. He also did the movies Kill List, High Rise, and had the Unearthed segment in the first ABCs of Death anthology. As the world searches for a cure to a disastrous virus, a scientist and a park scout venture deep into the forest for a routine equipment run. Through the night, their journey becomes a terrifying voyage through the heart of darkness, the forest coming to life around them. This movie had like a subtle folk occult story running through it, and it was like super effective at putting you through like an auditory and visual like a kaleidoscope that felt like a bad drug trip. Bad because at a lot of points as a viewer, I personally felt like I wasn't in control of like the visuals and the sounds, and it was a little overwhelming. But with the story, there's like a scientist chick who believes that they can communicate with nature using lights and sound. So it makes total sense that there's a lot of like wacky sounds and lights going on in the movie. It's just like a nod to that part of the story. I will say though, that being said, if you are at all sensitive to like certain sounds or like really strong high-pitched frequencies, or if you can't do a lot of like light stimulation or anything that would be like a sensory overload, like just be cautious when you watch this. I probably wouldn't go see it in theaters. Wait until you could like stream it or like rent it on DVD or something, because like like as someone who I'm not on any kind of spectrum, at least that I know of, and I don't have like epilepsy or anything, but it was still like a lot to process. Speaking of epilepsy, there is a warning at the beginning of the movie that warns that people who are sensitive to epileptic seizures probably should like look away or like, you know, take precaution. And then when at the theater, they had posted a sign on the door giving the same warning. So like they ain't playing, and they really aren't. There are a lot of scenes that are like that. Lots of strobing lights. Now, my favorite part of this movie, which my friend and I agree on, is the score. Clint Mansell, he did soundtracks like for Black Swan, for Requiem for a Dream. He did Stoker from Park Chan-wook, which is like one of my all-time favorite like pretentious art house bougie films. Like I love that movie so much, and to see that name and him like doing the music for this movie really made it special for me. It is very much like a trip. It's a bad trip. I don't know. I just prepare yourself. It was pleasant to watch though. I really liked the story. I will say the whole thing about like a disastrous virus, the guy, Ben Wheatley, the director, he did create this story during COVID. There are obvious correlations to like what we deal with in real life in like this movie, but like I do think they could have left that detail out, because I didn't see a lot of like connection from like their virus to the movie. There's like a handful of things, like there was a lot of mention of like not being around people or not talking to other people in like months. You know, they reference like lockdown a lot, and it's like maybe why they're acting a little strange. Or I made the comment to my friend, like the two main actors, they look really thin, like almost skeletal, and I'm wondering if like that's like a nod to how difficult it is in the real world in the story, because I think he mentioned, what the guy main character, he mentions to one of the scientists at the beginning, he's still getting like food where he's stationed and all that stuff. So like they're going to this forest, I believe, to go like check on like the soil that's like really fertile. And then there's like, it's like a forest that was like right outside of a village of people that believe that there's like a woodland spirit in the forest. And then like they kind of talk about that, and you see a lot about like ritualistic behavior. And like, I don't know, like I really enjoyed the movie. It's definitely one that I would probably need to go see again to like fully wrap my head around the story and, you know, tie up any loose ends of maybe things that I'm not fully understanding. If anything makes this movie stand out, it is going to be the stimuli, or like the things that really, the sound, the music, the visuals, all that stuff has got to make it kind of stand out on its own. I left feeling a little confused, but also like I just enjoyed it. Like I can't explain other than like it was unique. I haven't ever seen really a movie do that kind of sensory overload before. And now that I'm done praising it, I will say the character Zach, he's like a hermit scientist that the two main characters stumble upon in the forest. I almost felt like they wanted him to be like a slight, very mild, very dry, almost unnoticeable comedic relief. Because like this movie is not funny. It's like super serious from start to finish. I don't know, there's a couple of scenes where I think that he's trying to be funny, or that like his lines are supposed to be like funny. It just didn't really work. I also didn't like him at all. And then the scientist at the end, the last person that they meet, her name's like Olivia. Her eyes, she was way too intense. Like I didn't like her character. I think, you know, these people aren't meant to be liked, but I mean, like the acting wasn't like, I don't know. That could be like a small pinch point. Like I do feel like I need to go back and rewatch it. Because I went and saw it with a friend. You know, we were kind of like talking, her and I have this thing where we will watch a movie, we might like, hey, do you think this is gonna happen, or hey, do you think that's gonna happen? Like it's not like a full-blown conversation like ruining the movie, but like if no one else is in the theater, which we were the only ones in there, but if we're the only ones in the theater, we'll usually just kind of like openly like share our thoughts in the moment. And like I like it. I mean, I know that's not for everybody, and that might be like a cringy thing about me and my friend, but we would never do that like in a theater room full of people. And I personally don't think it takes away from the watching experience. I'm very like a get my thoughts out kind of person. Like when I watch movies, I usually have my phone, my notes app open so I can take notes about things that I'm like remembering or feeling in the moment, specifically for reviews like this, but you get it. So yeah, it's not a perfect movie at all. I do foresee this movie getting like a cult following though. It's just really like special. It's unique. This is gonna be a nice addition to like the weird, like make you think kind of atmospheric horror like movies. I'm excited to see what other reviewers have to say about this. My rating is 3.5 stars, but who knows? After I watch it a second time, I might hate it. I might be on the same wavelength as my friend, but I doubt it. I really enjoyed the movie. So yeah, let me know if you're gonna go see this movie. Let me know your thoughts. Let me read your comments. Just go down below. Let me know what's going on. Any recommendations? I'm always open to those. But that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!